Hello, this is Mark with Word God English, and I'm here to talk to you about learning English in the news. If you've been paying attention to entertainment news, you have probably heard of the Netflix series Squid Game. This has been a hugely popular show, and so we found a short article to look at while we introduce you to some new and interesting words and phrases. So, let's read through this article together and see what kinds of interesting phrases we can find. People around the world are trying to get hold of clothes worn by characters in the hugely popular South Korean TV series Squid Game. In this first sentence, I think that phrase, get hold of, is an interesting one because it sounds very much like spoken English. In English speaking proficiency tests, they call these kinds of phrases natural expressions, and these are essential for the upper intermediate and advanced scores. In particular, the made in Korea green tracksuits and pink jumpsuits from the show are in huge demand as a Halloween costume. Internet stores worldwide have been flooded with orders. Here, I want to make a point about the phrase in huge demand. Now, of course, we could just say something is in demand, and it means something very similar. But if we say huge, we're being more specific. And this attention to detail is another way that spoken responses in tests are separated between beginner and intermediate responses. Another noteworthy phrase here is has been flooded with orders. This is another example of using non-standard language to describe a situation. We could say something like, has received a large amount of orders. But the author chose to use a metaphor to create an image in the reader's minds. This kind of language is another way to separate intermediate and advanced speakers. Continuing, garment factories in South Korea are struggling to make enough of the clothes to keep up with demand. Clothes factory owner Kim Jin-ja from Seoul said, October is usually a slow month for the sewing industry, but thanks to Squid Game and Halloween, we are scrambling to sew enough clothes. She added, we are now sewing 6,000 green tracksuits for toddlers and children. The phrase to keep up with is an example of a phrasal verb. These kinds of verbs are usually how speakers replace more formal words in their speech. For example, keep up with in this context could be replaced with satisfy or match. Often, English learners will use overly formal expressions in their speech, which sounds awkward. If there are informal substitutions for formal words, try to use those instead. One other thing here is the word scrambling. This word is another interesting choice because it again replaces a more standard option, such as hurrying, because of the image it creates. To scramble means move in a very fast way, but often on your hands or your knees. This word communicates more desperation from the factory owner. Moving on, Squid Game is a survival drama series created by Hwang Dong-hyuk. It was first broadcast on Netflix on September the 17th. It has since become a global hit and is Netflix's most watched series ever. Here, the expression to become a global hit just means that it is globally successful. Another example of a native expression. Next, it reached #1 in 90 countries, including the United States. Netflix estimated that over 142 million people watched Squid Game in the 28 days following its release. The series is about a contest between 456 players who are in a lot of debt. They all play children's games to try to win a $40 million prize to get out of debt. However, the simple games could result in their death. Squid Game is another example of South Korean culture becoming popular around the world, following K-pop and K-dramas. In this last little piece, we can see how debt is treated like a sort of trap. You can be in, but you can also get out or escape. I find that seeing how prepositions are used for concepts like this is a very useful way to learn about a topic. Concepts often stay in our minds better than simply memorizing phrases. So, that's the article, and a few phrases and ideas to learn. One final point I would like to make is that when you're learning English through the news, different kinds of articles offer different kinds of English. For more formal language with advanced vocabulary, look to reports from the various sections, like business or politics. However, the opinions and editorial section is often a much richer resource for examples of language that you can use in spoken English, or well-known idioms that can also benefit your English vocabulary. We have so many great teachers to help you study English by using the news. So, if there's a particular English teacher you would like to record a video, leave a comment below telling us which teacher it is. We welcome you to subscribe to WordGod's YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram, which will allow you to see our latest test prep material and helpful video lessons. This is Teacher Mark from WordGod. See you around.